I do hope you won't think I'm being rude, but would you mind leaving me in peace now? I have to leave the hospital soon.
Oh, I'm so sorry. We didn't mean to hold you up. Of course, we'll be on our way.
He ran.
Surely you were not about to leave. That's quite out of the question. Was that girlish shriek you?
I was running.
Of course I was, my dear fellow, watching intently from the shadows, like Batman.
He got in through the window and then fell, and that was him. Crashing.
Okay, have you seen a Harry Potter musical?
Yes.
Oh my god, just full Draco Malfoy up in here. That's just every time Sholmes is anywhere, he just fucking flots into the furniture at every chance he gets. Make your presence known next time. I don't want to. Mr. Sholmes, what's this about? Something?
Susato, why are you so fucking cute?
Because she's Susato. Something which occurs to me with some regularity, Miss Susato, is this. Why do detectives insist on such an ex post facto modus operandi? That's Latin for, post fact mode of operation? I should know this. I took Latin in college. The X is actually what's throwing me off, and I feel like I should know that. Post obviously means after. Facto is fact, modus, and operandi is mode of operation. Yeah, from a thing done afterward is the literal translation. So altogether it would be from a thing done afterward mode of operation. Yes. Okay. Why solve a case after it's happened, instead of preventing a case before it happens? That is what sets a great detective apart.
I think he thinks he's pretty sure she's about to kill herself.
Shh, I already knew that. Ex post facto? I'm confused about that, though, because, like, that would mean... Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, ex post facto. It's a weird way of putting it, because I guess Latin is just the way it's transcribed, but it's before a thing has occurred, basically. So I was taking it to mean the opposite, where it occurs after, which is the opposite of what he's saying here. Anyway, what do you mean? There is a case waiting to happen under our very noses, Mr. Naruto. So let us avert disaster. Let us prevent this case from ever happening, with nothing but careful observation. Alright. All the clues you need are set before you. You need only look, and you cannot fail to see. You can do it, Mr. Naruto! I know you can! Yo, that pink stuff, it's real strong, I guess.
Killed the mouse.
That mouse seems to be dead! I didn't notice it there before, did you? I think perhaps it drank the medicine that spilled out of the bottle. But that's the bottle that Miss Green was about to drink from when we arrived. Ah, I see you've come to appreciate the true nature of this scene. It's a suicide room. That of a tragedy about to take place. Yes, I think it's falling into place. Good, I'm glad you're a very smart boy. Good boy, Mr. Naruto. Let me pat your head and give you snuggle wuggles. I'm not a dog, Mr. Sholmes. Miss Green, the contents of the bottle you had before
I was saying that last night when I had you tied her up.
Mr. Naruto, you did what? No, he's lying. I don't know what he's talking about. Anyway, Miss Green, getting back to the case, you two, the contents of the bottle you had before has spilt onto the floor. It's pink goo. And the poor mouse that drank it has sadly died.
That's because it's a food that's poisonous to mice and not to people. Like chocolate?
That's dogs.
Damn it.
I think it's clear that the bottle must have contained a powerful poison.
Dark chocolate.
Still dogs. Also, it's pink. Don't worry, I will attend to the mouse presently. She fucking picks it up and... No, she does the Peter Griffin with the frog thing. Just has a fucking shoebox lid. It's just kind of flipping it up towards the window. It's just squelching. Miss Green! Were you intending to go the same way as that rodent? I can excuse racism, but I can't excuse the depression and suicidal nature that comes from living in England. Ah! Did you know that suicide is a crime? If you had succeeded, I would have had to charge you with the highest extent of the law. Yep, that'll prevent suicides. You would have put it to your lips again, wouldn't you? And taken the poison?
No! Miss Green, please talk to us.
You know, I feel like now would be a time to get a doctor.
Nah. Look at the picture. I mean, when we first arrived, Miss Green was standing with it in her hand in what can only be described as a very tense atmosphere.
Yes, it may very well be related to whatever incident Mr. Sholmes believes was about to happen here. Perhaps we should ask Miss Green about it.
Nah,
Or we can just tell Sholmes to go read it. He seems to be fine going through people's personal belongings.
Yeah. Fucking mouse. Here, I've got a pair of teacups for you. Did you know I'm a lawyer? Nope, don't care. Alright. Oh, there we go. Hey, look at the card.
Neither the sender's name or...
Wow.
Wait a
Wow.
second, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like, I get that this is a little bit more deep now than I was saying about the first day of this case. Like, it seemed like it was wrapping up pretty quickly. And so I'm glad that there's a little bit more depth here. And there's definitely cases in good Ace Attorney games that have done this in a worse way. Specifically 3-3. But yeah, I think... Like, I'm glad for the mystery. I just wish there was more to do on in the first day, and instead of it just being like, oh, how did the gas leak happen? Like, that's it. You just have to prove that it wasn't poisoning. Because they found no evidence of poison, so why the fuck do they think it's poison? Whatever. I think this might be... if it was just the first day, if that had concluded where I thought it was going to conclude, this probably would be my second least favorite case in this duology. But so far, it's getting better. Like, I actually really like the star-crossed lovers, like, point, and I really wish they had hinted a bit more at it in the first day.
You think they're star-crossed lovers?
Potentially, like they got the whole the Shakespeare angle. So you got the one that died, and she was about to join him. So I mean, like, it's romantic. I mean, not romantic, but, like, tragic. You know what they need to do? And I don't think I'm the first person to say this, but I think they should make a version of Romeo and Juliet that's a comedy, because, like, with the context of today, you can't read Romeo and Juliet as it was meant to, because it doesn't make sense in the context of today's society. And that's honestly the ironically enough, the tragedy of Shakespeare's works is that so many... the reason that they lasted so long is because he wrote for the common people, not for the upper class. That was more commonplace at the time. And so he... this is a really bad comparison, but it's basically like his plays were the equivalent of superhero movies in this day and age. Very much movies that can appeal to anybody. And so not like more deep stuff, more like, you know, like the Oscar movies, like, what are some really good movies we've seen that are definitely in that vein? Like Jojo Rabbit, Get Out, sort of, like stuff that makes you think. Like, that's not always the stuff that's for general audiences, but that's what, that kind of stuff, the general audience stuff, is what Shakespeare was specifically writing to, so that's who it appealed to. And I think that you miss a lot of that reading Romeo and Juliet with the context of the modern setting. So I think that if you were to rewrite Romeo and Juliet, the best way to do that would be to keep everything the same, but make it a comedy instead of a tragedy. Like, not a slapstick comedy, but definitely keep it more, like... lighthearted. Yeah, like, it's something like Robin Hood Men in Tights. You know, that sort of deal, where you can have, you know, your serious moments, and you can have a plot through line, but, like, generally speaking, make it super lighthearted, and have people, like, draw attention to the fact that these teenagers are willing to kill themselves, or expedite themselves from their city for this forbidden love that they're in part of, that nobody seems to care about. Like, yeah. I don't know. I always thought about that. I think if I ever were to make, like, something out of my comfort zone in terms of writing, that's the kind of thing I would do. I would wanna do a screenplay for a comedic Romeo and Juliet. Maybe modern setting, maybe not. I don't know. It's just, it's hard to do something like that with modern setting, because there's a whole section. Was it we watched something in English class freshman year, something or other.
Yeah, it was like a retake, but it was like in the 80s with like greasers.
Oh, fuck. What was that?
I can't remember.
But basically, one of the big plots, I think it was either that movie or the other one that we watched that was probably made the same era, but actually, like, setting accurate to Shakespeare's time, the era that it was going for. But, like, they played it... This is actually what got me this idea. There's a scene where there's a duel between Romeo and Tybalt, which ends up with Tybalt dying. And there's two ways you can do that. You can do it in the serious tone, or you can do it in the way that the... I believe it was the setting-specific one that plays it comedically, which is very much more in line, in my opinion, with the way Shakespeare probably would have written it. Because, again, these are teenagers. They probably would have had a just jaunty, like, not, like, you know, fucking teenagers. Like, they're fighting with swords and shit, and they don't really mean anything by it, but
you know, someone fucking you stab someone the wrong way with a sword, they're gonna die. So I entirely think that sort of way to frame that scene, that Romeo's just dicking around and he accidentally kills Tybalt, like, that's the best way you can put that. Like, it should not be a dramatic scene. It's like the fucking, again, Robin Hood Men in Tights scene, but like the bridge fight. Like, do that, but then have Robin Hood actually kill Lil Jon at the end, and then that sort of comedic moment is, oh my god. I gotta stop thinking about this because my writer brain is like going haywire, and I don't. Why was there dogs? I'd make Romeo black. Not for any specific reason, just... I don't know. Maybe that's wrong. Maybe I should do it the other way around. I'd have to think about it more. Think about the context that I would want to put it in. I think I'm more in line with the idea of doing a modern setting with this interpretation.
They could have easily put it in a bag.
This is the kind of shit you think about when a property's been around for like fucking 100 years. Anyway, we should probably get back to the game now. It arrived by post at my home the day before the incident that put me in the hospital here. I have information regarding the death of Duncan Ross. Come to the Slug and Salad on Briar Road at 5 p.m. on the 17th. Don't tell anyone else about this letter or the meeting. It is a matter of utmost importance.
Oh, so it's the reason she was actually there.
Yep. That's what I was thinking. Yeah, like as soon as this connection was made, I was like, oh, that makes a lot more sense. Wait a minute, the 17th of this month? That's the day you were stabbed on Briar Road. God, if you hadn't played the first game, this is your fucking clue that... Oh my god, yeah, it really... I hate to keep hammering this point home, but like, this definitely feels like it was more meant for the first game than this one. Mm-hmm. I can't wait for this case to have basically nothing to do with anything else that happens. Even though, I guess they did say that something here is relevant to what's going on in the present. 5 p.m.? Can you move your leg? I just need to stretch a little bit more. Need to man spread a bit. It's precisely the time when the incident occurred. Okay, I'm just gonna lay my foot down. The Slug and Salad, yes. A pub on the northern corner of Briar Road. Briar Road being the street that Mr. Garadeb's house is on. Does that mean that...
Miss What's-Her-Face didn't throw the knife. It was stolen, and What's-His-Face threw it down on her.
We have a Danganronpa V3 situation where the knife didn't actually stab Miss Green, but it like fell into the pavement. She bent down to pick up the book, and fucking Shamspear came at her behind and fucking stabbed her. That day when I was struck in the back by the knife, I was actually on my way to the Slug and Salad. Slug and Salad. Fresh blood, out of decay, advance of decay, trial.
Adventures know you're undead.
Oh dear. So that's what you were doing at Briar Road that day. We had to wait a whole game to figure that out. I'm sorry I didn't say anything before.
It's quite a shock being stabbed.
10 seconds later, and we have arrived at a very different scene, and we would have arrived at a very different scene here. In all probability, we would not have enjoyed this most delightful conversation about suicide. And Shakespeare? Perhaps it hasn't been quite so delightful from your perspective, Miss Green. One of my least favorite movies ever is Romeo and Juliet. I just want to put that out there.
Yep.
And probably the fucking worst movie. One of the worst movies I've ever seen.
Actually, in a way, now that everything's out in the open, I feel like a weight has been lifted.
And this is honestly very true in real life. I feel like
Once you talk about it.
it's not exactly that, but yes. Not just people that I've known, but just in general, what I've seen is that if people attempt to suicide and survive, they get this realization that they don't actually want to die. Not all the times. There are definitely some very famous cases. Sylvia Plath, for example. But like, it's that feeling of hopelessness.
Yeah, most people want to survive. It's just once that feeling of hopelessness becomes every day, there's no point in surviving.
Yeah. And I've never had to deal with that situation. I really hope I never do. I don't know. This is kind of deep. I'm just... There's more I can say about this, but I don't think now's the time or place.
We can talk about this more later if you want.
As someone who was very close, basically the same situation right now, where I got caught. You'll feel lost even after, the attempt doesn't go through. You'll still feel lost for a while. But finding someone who actually it's finding someone who is actually professional and knows how to help you was the best, not just simply talking about it. Simply talking about it,
That's the
gets
start.
a little relief.
That's the start. That's the starting point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It gives you a little relief at the moment.
And I'm not saying
But for
everyone's situation's the same either. Like,
But I know for me, after a while,
it really depends on how bad it gets before that attempt.
I mean, after that attempt, I would still, talk about how I wanted to. And people would talk about it, be shocked at the moment, and then the very next day say nothing. And I know that's just human nature.
What was that, high school era?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people in our grade were very... Oh, God. I'm not gonna say undeservedly, not self-loathing, but hating the situation that they're in. Because trust me, high school sucks, and it sucks a lot more in retrospect as somebody that did not mind school. But I think it's just a significant fact of your teenage years are the first time you kind of realize you're your own person and you want to express yourself in different ways. And by the time you reach teenage years and high school age, you realize you kind of have a sense of it's that teenage rebellious attitude a bit. You don't like the way that things are,
but you also don't have enough power to change it. And mix that with the hopelessness and perhaps the stress that comes from everything in that era of your life. And yeah, I've known more people that have attempted suicide in high school age than older than that, but I've also known more people that have gone through with it after they finished high school. So I'm not gonna say that high school's not stressful. I'm not gonna say it's better than what comes afterwards, because not everybody's gonna do the same. But I get it, like why those thoughts may start around that time, because you kind of, it's the first time in your life you're realizing what it means to be a person, what it means to be, you know, an individual and still have no freedom for yourself.
Yes and no.
Yeah, and again, it's a different situation for everybody, but I think that's the general, like, broad strokes of most people. There's also very different things that can happen, such as your situation with losing a loved one, and that anything can be the triggering point.
Yeah.
Anyway, we should get back to this game. That's about a man being a lawyer for an orca.
Corgi!
What is that? I'm gonna follow them. Kamui cosplay. I think I'm already following them, but I'm not sure. I can't spell. Kamui. There we go. I'm not following them.
No, you are.
There's one cosplayer I follow. Yeah, is this him? No, that's Kamui. I love Monster Hunter cosplays. Like that. Monster Hunter is up there with, like, Bloodborne with some of my favorite costume designs.
How am I supposed to believe humans are the dominant species when there's spiders over here building a house with their butthole?
I want to build a house with my butthole. We're so distracted right now. I want to keep going, though. I want to get more than 2 hours of this game recorded at a time.
Alright, let me go potty.
Alright.
And then I'll pay attention.
No, it's both of it. It's probably more me, because I'm the one with the controller, and I keep pausing to look at shit. How did you acquire that medicine? Well, with this being a hospital and all, it really wasn't that fucking hard. He always leaves the medicine cabinet open for a while, so I snuck this out when he wasn't looking. It's pure opioid, so I wouldn't feel a thing. It conspicuously lacks a label. I wonder what it contains. I'm afraid I don't really know. But I thought if I drank it, it might just stop the pain somehow. I mean, in a matter of speaking. Oh, Miss Green, please don't talk of such things. Well, it seems clear now that it contains poison. Yes, that poor little mouse is proof of that. Oh no. No, it's all my fault. What have I done? I've killed a mouse. I shall remove this to my office, Miss Green. I want a little taste test, you see. Mr. Sholmes, no, I didn't realize you were thinking of those thoughts. No, I just like tasting things. Have you not learned that about me? I like to put things in my mouth. I'm ADHD brain. No, none. Please don't drink any of it, though. It's pink and probably really bad for you because it's poison and whatnot. I think I'll have to ask you to excuse me now. I think I'll stay in the hospital a few more days. Probably for the best. Told you everything? Yes, I'm very sorry to have had to drag up such painful memories and subjects and made this whole episode a lot sadder. No, it's fine. Miss Green, please promise us you won't try to do anything like that again. I think I'm probably just gonna put a whole trigger warning on this whole video. I'm gonna keep in our commentary because it's someone might need it. You never know. I'll just put it in the title. I'm saying it out loud to myself so I remember. Yes, don't worry. Your detective friend has the bottle now anyway. And besides, I've been stabbed in the back and had a close shave with a bottle of poison, and I'm still here. I think I'm destined to see things through to the end. Might sound a little conceited, but well, that's how all this has made me feel. Leaving Miss Green and St. Bartholomew's behind, we made our way back to Baker Street with Mr. Sholmes.
Well, it would appear we've reached the end of the investigative trail for today.
Yes, it's late.
And Mr. Naruto? Did you discover anything that may be of use to you in the court tomorrow, do you think?
Details about Mr. Shamspear, Mr. Garrett's lodgings, the convict Selden. There are many facets to this case, and we're yet to see to the heart of it, if you ask me. That's my feeling, anyway. I can't help wondering about the results of the analysis. Enter Mr. Natsume's tea, you mean? Yes. Will they have found strychnine in it or not?
Well, I fear that either way, it will be hard to escape the grip of our friend Mr. Reaper.
Oh, death.
Oh, I think he meant Barrack von Zeeks. But I wish you every success, of course, and though I was late to rise this morning, tomorrow will be a new dawn. I intend to spring from my bed at a crisp hour and attend the trial.
Mr. Sholmes, you're going to come?
Only if Mr.
God damn it. I know I probably shouldn't joke, but it's too good.
I will come only if that handsome detective allows me to come. Whatever happens, I shall be there, assuming my eyelids cooperate in the morning.
Well, I think we've done all we can.
Did you guys spray the bottle to see if our victim's handprint still was on it?
All that's left is to remain focused and keep fighting for Mr. Natsume's cause until the very end.
But what did we find?
Nothing new. Nothing since you left. We were just like, hey, are you okay? Is it okay if we leave you here? And she's like, it's fine. Yeah. London, the world's most prosperous city, home to some 6 million people. But away from the razzle-dazzle, down back alleys and behind bricked-up windows, the lonely lurk. Soseki-san had battled long and hard with loneliness during his many months here, and so I felt honor-bound to battle equally hard for my compatriot, to lift the curse that gripped him. As Mr. Sholmes said, tomorrow would be a new dawn for all of us. Alright, I feel a little bit more focused now. So I'm willing to keep going if you are.